So, Caitlin, thank you for meeting with me.
Absolutely.
The purpose of this whole thing is to try to figure out what's going on when you're asking your sons to do chores. So tonight we're just going to talk about kind of what happens when you ask them to do chores, what they are doing, what they're not doing, and then I'm going to try to come up with maybe something that you can do when, like, you want the boys to do chores that way. It's a little bit easier for you. You have to fight them to do them.
Okay.
And if it works, then that's great. That's awesome. And if it doesn't, then we'll try to find something else to do so that might potentially work to help get that behavior down.
Okay.
So just wanted to ask you, like, so you have three kids, right?
3 kids. Yep.
Yep. How old are they?
9, 6, and 7 months.
7 months. Okay. And what are their names?
Julian, Zachary, and Aubrey.
So I assume Julian and Zachary are the ones that you want to get to do chores.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And so what happens when you ask them to do chores?
It's just a constant fight of, oh, it's not fair, I'm cleaning, he's not, or it's that's not my toy, or it's I didn't take it out, he did, and it's just always an argument.
I gotcha. And when you ask them to do chores, do they eventually end up doing it, or is it a hassle? What is that?
It's definitely a hassle, but I would say that anywhere between 6 to 8 times of asking them to do the same thing to get them to do it, they will eventually do it, but it takes a lot of repeating myself.
Yeah, and that's probably really frustrating.
A little bit.
Yeah, that sounds frustrating. What chores are you usually asking Julian to do, and what chores are you usually asking Zachary to do?
Julian is usually my garbage man. He helps me take the garbage out to the dumpster, and Zachary usually vacuums up. Julian can sweep. They both share between cleaning the room and mopping and stuff like that. But.
Okay, and would you say that, like, they know exactly how to do the chores, or something?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that they know what they're supposed to do. It's just a matter of getting them to do it.
Correct.
That sounds like boys.
Yeah, definitely.
Do they typically fight when they're doing chores, or?
Not once they initially start. It's just the matter of getting them started. But once they do them, they get them done, and then they're done with it. So.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. At least eventually, once they start,
exactly.
they get it done.
Exactly.
So do you think that when Julian's doing his chores, is that when Zachary usually does it, or do they do it at the same time, or maybe is it at a different time that they're doing chores? You're asking them?
Honestly, it's probably different times with the garbage and sweeping and vacuuming and things like that. If I can get one of them to vacuum and take the garbage out, at the same time, then that'd be great. Yeah. But it's usually at different times other than cleaning the room, which is usually the same time. I don't want to single one out and have one clean the room and not the other. So. Okay,
that makes sense. And you have a baby too, so does that make things a little more difficult when you're trying to get chores done? And
a lot, because I just expect to, ask once, and sometimes it takes repeating yourself, obviously, but, I shouldn't have to ask more than at least 2-3 times to get them up and moving. Yeah. I'm taking care of the baby, I'm just trying to get things together, so they could help out a little bit.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, do you expect them to do chores every single day, twice a week, 3 times a week?
It's usually their room. I would like it at least picked up every night before we go to sleep, so that way it's a new, fresh day. Okay. I don't have to worry about it in the morning. But as far as vacuuming, it's usually anywhere between once and twice a week. Okay. And the garbage is usually every couple days.
Okay. So I just want to write down quick. So what are the top 3 chores typically you ask for Julian, and what are the top 3 chores you typically ask Zachary to do?
Okay. Julian would definitely be garbage. Mm-hmm. I ask him to vacuum and mop.
Okay. And then for Zachary,
because he's so little, it's hard to get too many of the. I usually ask him to help me pick up the living room. That's one of his biggest things that I ask him to do. Yep. The baby's toys are all over the place. They have their toys out and things like that. Okay. I do ask Zachary to vacuum, and I ask Zachary to help me. Sweep.
Okay. And then for both of them, that every single night, making sure the room's clean.
Most definitely.
Awesome. Now, for Julian, what would you say that, like, is something for him that he really enjoys doing, and something that he would, like, potentially even, like, work for, like a reward that if he was to do his chores after being asked once, like, what would be something that would be really rewarding for him? Would you say? Money. Mm-hmm. So Julian's.
He always asks.
Okay. Julian likes
money. Are you
gonna
give me $1? Are you gonna give me $1?
Okay. Is there anything else other than money? Because that could get expensive.
It could get expensive. I don't know. I don't know. They don't really ask for too much.
Yeah.
I mean, longer time maybe on the PlayStation or longer like TV time, because I have them alternate with the time limits because we only have one TV. With, You know, so I would say that.
Okay. So how many like minutes a night do they get on the PlayStation versus the TV?
I make them alternate every 15 minutes.
Okay.
With games, unless they're playing, you know, a game that they can play together, or you know, with a show, I'd let them watch an entire show, which is usually like 30 minutes, and then let them switch. Somebody else can watch a show.
Okay, and then like, are they as soon as they come from school, are they watching, you know, TV all day, or is it a time limit?
No, I mean, school, the routine is they get in, we do backpacks, they have a snack, they sit down, they watch TV for a good 15, 20 minutes, because that's usually the time the baby wakes up.
Yep.
And then I get her settled down, and then we do homework. Okay. And then after homework, it's usually a good hour and a half that they have just free
time. Okay.
Yeah. And then we do showers and stuff like that.
Okay. And then now for Zachary, what do you think would motivate him?
Honestly, I would say the same thing. Longer times, because they're constantly just begging for, well, can I get another 15 minutes? What about another 5? Well, I was playing this, and you know.
All right. Is there any games other than screen games that they enjoy playing?
They love board games.
Yep.
Any type of board game, actually.
Okay. So, just kind of like what it sounds like, I think that maybe what would be reinforcing for both of them would be maybe coming up with like some sort of system where if they do one of their chores, they can maybe earn an additional 5 minutes with the screen time, but that would only be if they, you know, do it the first time that's asked, and have some sort of system where what I'm thinking about, and I'll think about it a little more too later, is where we can just make like a piece of paper with 3 things on it that are Velcroed to the paper, and then you can write down like on an Expo marker, like, okay, Julian, I want you to vacuum, do the garbage today, and mop, and then Zachary, I want you to sweep, pick up the toys, put your clothes away, and then hand it to them, like that's their chores for the night, and every time that they finish one of them right away without any problems, maybe then they could earn 5 minutes on with their screen time or whatever they want to play. Then once that 5 minutes up, okay, they have to go do the second thing. Mm-hmm. If there's no problem, they give it to you, then they can do it the same thing. So maybe that's like an extra 15 minutes if they do all 3, but that might be a nice way to...
Definitely.
That's kind of something I'm thinking. Do you think that would be feasible? That way it can change?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But so as for now, I think that we'll meet again in a few days. That way we can get this up and running in a chore. It's like kind of like a chore chart, but it's flexible. It can change. We'll try to get that up and running. Okay. We'll meet. I'll introduce it to you, show you how it works, and then after that, get it going, and we can come meet again and see if that worked for you. If the amount of times asking to do the chores goes down, that would be awesome. For you. You're busy. You don't have to need to spend 20 minutes telling them to do their chores when you could probably have done it in 4 minutes. So hopefully we can get that up and running. Okay. Do you have any more questions or anything you feel I need to know before we get this up and running?
I don't think so.
No? All right. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and we will meet in a couple days and get that going. All right. Well, thank you for meeting with me again.
Absolutely.
I took the time to get everything ready for the chores. I asked you afterwards what their favorite colors were, because I feel like that might be helpful when we're doing this intervention with them, trying to get them to do their chores compliantly.
Definitely.
So I want to show you what I have here today.
Okay.
So I did one for Julian and one for Zach. So since Julian loves green, I made his green.
Okay.
And for Zachary's, he loves red, so I made his red.
Awesome.
So what we have here is they have 3 different note card size Velcro things that you can take on, take off. They're laminated, so you actually can write on them. And then once you finish writing, you can just erase
perfect.
Just like that.
Okay.
Okay. So there's different things that we can do with this, and I made it that way so that way whatever you feel is best for the boys, you can do it like that. With Julian, I made I made a jar for him and a jar for Zachary, and they each have age-appropriate chores that they can do with you. So for Zachary's, feed the cats is one of them that's in this chore thing, and Julian has a variety of chores too.
Okay.
So what you can explain to them is that what they have to do each night when they get home from school is go look at their chore charts to see what they have to do for the day. Okay. So say you need Julian to definitely take out the trash. You could write down on his first card, take out the trash.
Okay.
But say maybe you don't really care the other 2 ones that he does, but you just want to make sure he gets 3 chores in. You can say, okay, Julian, I want you to go get to your bin, and you can pick out 2 other chores to do for the night. And then Julian will get the opportunity to go in and pick out 2 different cards. So he picks in put clothes in drawer and clean bathroom sink.
Okay.
Once he does that, then you can write down vacuum,
Okay.
put clothes in drawer, and clean the bathroom sink.
Okay.
Okay. So then Julian can see that those are the 3 things he has to do for the night.
Perfect.
Then what happens is, say he decides to do his vacuuming first. He vacuums, he finishes up vacuuming the rugs you want. He does it without any problems. What he can do is he can take this off and hand it to you, and then you can say to him, okay, Julian, you can now go play with your iPad for 5 minutes, or you can go play 5 minutes of a video game. Take a little break before you do the next chore.
Okay.
And then after the 5 minutes is up, you can put a timer on. It rings, then you can eventually go to your next chore. And then he would go see that, okay, clean bathroom sink is next. He would go do that, whatever he had to do, come back to you, take this off, hand it to you, and then same thing, 5 minutes, and then he can go to his last thing, which would be put clothes in drawer.
Okay.
Now, what I added on the bottom of this is I feel like, since you said Julian is motivated by money, that he could earn something right away, but also say he doesn't give you any problem and he does his 3 chores and no problem, gets right off of the video games, then you can give him a smiley face sticker for Monday and put it right here.
Perfect.
And this is going to be up to you. Let me know what you think about this. But let's say the week goes by and Julian earns, 1 sad face because he gave you a hard time maybe to do his chores one day, and then he earns a smiley face, let's see, another smiley face, and another smiley face. You can decide what's best. Maybe either he can earn $4 for the whole week because he did 4 days of chores without a problem, or maybe because he just earned 1 sad face, he doesn't get any money for the week. And that can be your choice, what you choose to do with him.
Okay.
Do either of those sound good to you?
Or? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely.
So that can kind of be on you, and this is his little baggie for his smiley faces, and then Zachary has another bag too, and his are orange. I had pink note cards. And I figured he would probably be upset
like
by
the
that,
orange
so
better.
Orange would be better.
Perfect.
And now with this, you can say to them, okay, maybe they don't want to play for video games. You can ask them, what do you want to do tonight? And then what do you think Zachary might say one night other than video games, maybe?
Probably he'd like to play a board game or something with me or something, he craves one-on-one time.
Okay, so that'd be perfect. So that could be something too that he could do is if, he finishes one thing, he can earn some one-on-one time with you for 5 minutes, or if he chooses a crazy game like Monopoly or something, maybe you could say, all right, you got to finish all 3, but then we can play a game together too.
Okay.
And it's really flexible too, so you can decide maybe one night they get 3 easy chores that take, not much time. You say, I want you to finish all these, hand me your cards, and once you do, then you can earn this, or whatever it may be.
Definitely.
And it's flexible in that way. And if you choose that the smiley faces don't work for you, then you don't have to do that. But if it's reinforcing good for them to see that, okay, like on these days I did good and these days I didn't, maybe it will help them get in that routine of just not, complaining and asking you haven't asked 40 times, hey, time to do your homework.
Exactly.
But yeah, do you have any questions about this? I mean, I just explained a lot of different things, but I wanted to just make it flexible so you can kind of choose what you want to do and how you really want to go about it.
No, I think it's great. I'm really excited to start it. I really think it's going to help a lot.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think a lot of kids really just enjoy that, let's say oh, I did this, I finished it here. Like I look what I did, Mom.
Definitely.
And just since especially Zachary, he's 6, he's a little guy. Having you just be proud of him might be really helpful. From and just building that okay, I can do these things.
Exactly.
And,
yep.
Hopefully they'll stop. Not listening to you. They'll start listening, and they can get right into their chores.
Yeah.
And like I said, if one day, let's say it's Wednesday, and you don't really care what they do, they can pick 3. Or if there's a day where you need Julian to do X, Y, and Z, and you need Zach to do X, Y, and Z, you can just write them down, and they don't get to pick from their jars.
Okay.
So it's really just kind of whatever you think. I just did this just in case There was a couple of things maybe you needed them to do, but they could also have, play that like fun thing of like, oh, what am I gonna pick out?
Exactly. What's gonna happen? What am I gonna get?
And then I might turn into like a fun game, like, oh, like Julian, you have to, feed the cats. I only have to, put my clothes in the drawer, and maybe together, since they both have the same thing, it's gonna be considered fair, and they can go from there.
Sounds good. I'm excited. Thank you.
Is there any questions about this, or?
I don't think so.
You think this will work with them?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I think they'll be excited.
But I hope so. I hope they like it, and then it's kind of fun way to get them doing some chores, but also earning things. I know Julian will probably be excited to earn some money.
Definitely
for his chores, and
definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
That's about it. Well. Let me know if you have any questions throughout the week. It is Monday, so hopefully we can talk to them about this when they get home from school today, and then get it started today and see how it goes throughout the week. If you have any questions or problems or whatever, just feel free to reach out to me, and we can troubleshoot together and try to figure out something to get it going.
All right.
Let's try to meet maybe in 2 weeks to see like if it was helping, and then if it's not working out, let's try to maybe we can plan to meet earlier to try to readjust what we're doing.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, so we meet again. It's been 2 weeks since we last met, so today I just want to talk about how the charts went with both Julian and Zachary, if they worked, and then also if they didn't work, I have some other ideas if that's possible. So how'd things go?
Great. Honestly, they love them. It reduced a lot of the nagging as soon as they come home to do anything. They just go right to the chart and they look at what it is, and then they pick out their other two, and they just get right to them. I thought it was going to be a let's do one and sit down and mess around, but they do all three to get them done. And
wow. That's awesome.
Worked out a lot better than I thought it would.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So they've said to you that they enjoy doing it, and it's...
They do. Well, at the end of the week, they get their money, so they can do what they want with it. Like last week, it was they have this thing in school where they get Hershey Kisses. You bring in so many dollars, you get so many Hershey Kisses. So that was the biggest thing last week. So they wanted to make sure that they earned all their smiley faces so they could get as many Hershey Kisses as they could.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, they love it, and it's working very well, actually.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So in terms of the smiley faces, have they both earned smiley faces for the past 2 weeks, or?
So the first week that we started, Julian was actually sick. So what I did is I was so focused on him, and I didn't really do chores for Zachary either. So they just skipped that day. So I didn't put a smiley face because I didn't want them to earn a smiley face and get money for something that they didn't do, but I didn't want them to get a sad face because it wasn't that I put it up there that they didn't do. So we just kind of skipped that. And then last week, they earned all of their smileys. I even switched it up, and what I did was I put no chores for one day for Julian, and he was so excited to realize that he didn't have any chores, but Zachary still had chores. So Zachary was a little upset about it, but the next day I did it to Zachary, and I said no chores for Zachary, but they still earn their smiley face, they still earn their money, and they thought that was the coolest thing ever. So now they're looking at the charts every day like, oh my gosh, is it going to be my day with no chores? Or do I have chores?
That's really awesome.
Something exciting for them, I guess.
So do they enjoy like seeing what you write and picking out of the bin? Like, what do they like about it?
The favorite part is picking out because there's funny things in there. Julian got clean the toilet, and she thought it was absolutely hilarious. And now Zachary keeps picking it out to try and get clean the toilet because they think it's so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, it's definitely the jars, their choice of picking it out and having. Yes, it's not their choice of the chore, but it's their choice. It's their hand in the jar. It's what they pick. It's not something that I'm physically telling them to do. So it's working out really well.
Wow, that's all. I'm surprised. I didn't realize how awesome, how great that would work. So
I didn't either.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear. Well, the nice thing about this, too, is it can be flexible. I think it's an awesome idea to do the no chores thing, and one of your sons has a chore, because that way they don't know what to expect.
Exactly.
And that's kind of exciting, too, in itself, and changing it up a little bit and making your own. That's really awesome. Have you just done chores with them, or have you done anything else with them?
Well, what we're starting to do this coming week is it's going to be homework, because Julian is going through a lot of testing, the state testing and everything for the end of the year. And Zachary is now starting to have spelling words, so I just want to make sure that we get that out of the way first. So it's not necessarily a chore, it's something that they have to do, but I want it visual that they know, okay, it's not mess around time, it's let's get our homework done, then chores, and then we can play.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you haven't seen any, you haven't had to ask 14 times to
No.
do things? And
maybe twice sometimes on days when they're a little wound up, but other than that, no, they go right in, and now they're excited to see if they don't have any chores, so it's an immediate, I'm going to go and I'm going to see what I have, so.
Wow, that's so awesome. And you said they kind of breezed over the breaks in between. They're just doing them.
Yep, they do all three of them just to get them out of the way.
So I guess money's more reinforcing than
definitely
playing. So
they haven't even asked for the extra time.
That's awesome.
They're just looking for that smiley face. So at the end of the week, they can have their hand out.
So I guess that's all you have to do then. They
Exactly.
get 3 and they can keep changing it up however you feel. That's really great to hear.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Well, no, I'm so excited. I'm glad to hear that they love it, and I think one of the biggest things is their buy-in, obviously, to it, and hopefully they, since there's those cards, they can keep picking things out, and as you see fit and they get older, you can add things. They give you those index cards that match the colors, and they can, hopefully it continues, and they give you some less trouble with this.
Exactly. It's been nice for the past 2 weeks, I will say. So, no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well,
it's been a big help.
That's awesome. I'm that's great. I mean, had some other things planned, but I mean, it's working, so there's really no reason to add anything else right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you see that things aren't working out, or let me know, and I can try to alter it in some way for you. But as of right now, I think that it's working, and there's no reason to change it. So if you need any help or have any questions, feel free to reach out to me whenever, and I'm glad to help with that. But I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's great.
All right, I'm so glad it worked.
Thank you enough.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for everything, and like I said, if you need anything, just feel free to reach out.
Absolutely.